Hi everybody, it's Miss C and Georgie. We are here to do the closed reader with you. Today is 4-15-20, which is April 15th, 2020, and it is Wednesday. I hope you're all well and enjoying this very weird weather. We just got back from a walk and it was snowing. So strange. Okay, so we are working on the unit called Brea tar pits out of the closed reader, and it starts on page 126. Okay, so Miss C is going to read, you follow along, and we'll do the work together, okay? Remember what a background is. Background is found in the ground in some places. And what is our purpose? Purpose tells us why we're reading. So our purpose today is to find out how many animals long ago became fossils in a tar pit in Los Angeles. Do you know where Los Angeles is? If you know, send me a message. Okay, number 1 tells us to underline what scientists find in the tar pits. So let's go ahead and read Brea tar pits. Did you know that Los Angeles, California is famous for its tar pits? They are the Brea tar pits, to be exact. Scientists remove lots of fossils from them. Some people are amazed to see the fossils. Pardon me. So what are we supposed to do? Underline what scientists find in the tar pits. And what did they find in the tar pits? Lots of fossils. Okay, so you're going to underline this sentence. Scientists remove lots of fossils from them. Okay, you know what I forgot to do last time we did closed reader is I forgot to do the terms on the side, and you guys always remind me of that in class, and I completely forgot for some reason. So pits in this case, if you're not sure, is they're just a big deep hole in the earth. Okay, so you can just put big hole in the ground. Excuse me. All right, let's look at page 127. So number 2 asks us to underline a sentence that tells how scientists know that Los Angeles was once cooler and wetter. So let's read page 127 together. Scientists have explained that Los Angeles was once cooler and wetter than it is today. They know this because fossils of plants and animals that lived only in cool, wet places have been discovered there. These plants and animals lived a very long time ago. The animals included big cats with huge teeth. Imagine how they growled. Other animals had to be on guard if they did not want to be eaten. So let's go back to number 2. It says to underline a sentence that tells how scientists know that Los Angeles was once cooler and wetter. Can you tell me what that sentence is? If you said the second sentence, they know this because fossils of plants and animals that lived only in cool, wet places have been discovered there. So when they found the fossils in the ground, the type of fossils that they found told them that the temperature used to be cooler and wetter because those things that were fossils survived in places that were cool and wet. Let's look at number 3. It says we're supposed to reread our page and answer what is one kind of animal that got trapped in the tar pits. Write it below. Excuse me. So I'll reread and you figure out the answer before I get down to number 3 again. Scientists have explained that Los Angeles was once cooler and wetter than it is today. They know this because fossils of plants and animals that lived only in cool, wet places have been discovered there. These plants and animals lived a very long time ago. The animals included big cats with huge teeth. Imagine how they growled. Other animals had to be on guard if they did not want to be eaten. And our little caption down here for our picture, remember a caption tells what a picture is about. It says scientists search for fossils at the Brea tar pits. So that picture is showing scientists who look for fossils. So again, number 3 asks us, what is one kind of animal that got trapped in the tar pits? So let's go back and look. It said the kinds of plants and animals lived in cool, wet places. They lived a very long time ago. And it says the animals included big cats with huge teeth. So what is one kind of animal that got trapped in the pits? It is big cats. So Miss C is going to type it out, and you can take a look over here while I'm typing, and then you can pause if you need to, so you can copy the sentence. Let's see, big cats were, oh, we should say big cat fossils, because they didn't actually find the big cats, did they? They found the fossils. So big cat fossils were found in the tar pits. Period. We started our sentence with a capital letter and we ended with a period. Okay? So if you need to pause the video so you can copy the sentence, go ahead. Miss C is going to keep going, okay? Page 128. Number 4 asks us to underline the names of 2 other animals that were trapped in the tar pits. At times, wolves chased mammoths into tar pits. Then the sticky tar trapped them all. The trapped animals died. Over time, they became fossils. The tar still traps living things. In time, they may become fossils. People may find them and keep them as souvenirs. And you know what I bet I forgot to do? I forgot to do the term on the last page. So don't forget to do that. And if you're not sure what it is, give me a message. So we're supposed to underline the names of 2 other animals that were trapped in the tar pits. So let's look at it again. It says, at times wolves chased mammoths into the tar pits. Okay? Then the sticky tar trapped them all. The trapped animals died, and over time they became fossils. So the only 2 animals that they talked about in this paragraph were wolves and mammoths. So let's underline that first sentence. At times wolves chased mammoths into tar pits. And do you know what a mammoth is? Have you ever seen the movie Ice Age? You remember the big giant woolly mammoth in there? That's a mammoth, okay? It's a big, huge mammal that has big, giant tusks, U-shaped tusks, a long trunk like an elephant, but it's got hair all over, okay? Let's look at number 5. It says, reread page 128. How were mammoths trapped in the tar pits? And write it below. So let's reread. At times, wolves chased mammoths into tar pits. Then the sticky tar trapped them all. The trapped animals died. The tar still traps living things. In times, they may become fossils. People may find them and keep them as souvenirs. So think about it for a minute. How were mammoths trapped in the tar pits? If you said they were trapped by being chased in there by wolves, you were correct. So I will go ahead and type the note over here, and you can copy if you need to. So how were mammoths trapped? Mammoths, I'm sorry, I'm typing with one hand again because my other hand is holding Georgie. Mammoths were, oops, looks like Miss C spelled that wrong. I had my fingers on the wrong keys. Mammoths, there we go, were trapped because they were chased by wolves. I'd say that deserves an exclamation point. And we need to have a space between the word were and trapped, so I'll put that in there. What does our sentence start with? A capital letter, and it ends with some kind of punctuation. If you don't want to put an exclamation point there, you can put a period. That's okay. Our caption by our picture says life-sized statues of mammoths at the Brea tar pits. So those are just statues that they have there. So that's what's called an exhibit. which means it's just something that shows something. So when you go to a museum, you see an exhibit, okay? So pause if you need to so you can copy the sentence. I'm going to move on. Page 129, number 6 asks us to read in the timeline and circle the event that happened about 40,000 years ago. So here's our timeline for the Brea tar pits. I got to take my glasses off because I can't see this. So it says more than 100,000 years ago, the area was covered by water. So this is what happens 100,000 years ago. Then, or more than 100,000 years ago. This one says about 100,000 years ago. Water goes down and land appears. About 40,000 years ago, first plants and animals were trapped there. And today, it's surrounded by a busy city. And this caption tells us that this picture is a saber-toothed cat skull. And you can see why they call it saber-toothed, because it has two very sharp saber-like teeth in the front, okay? So it says in the timeline, circle the event that happened about 40,000 years ago. So we need to look across the top again. This says more than 100,000 years ago. This says about 100,000 years ago. This says about 40,000 years ago. And this says today. So if you circled this section, first plants and animals trapped, you are correct. Let's look at our short answer. It says reread the timeline and in your own words, tell the events that happened at Brea from first to last and write them below. And we've done this before where we've had to order a table. So let's look at it one more time. It says more than 100,000 years ago, the area was covered by water. About 100,000 years ago, water goes down and land appears. About 40,000 years ago, first plants and animals were trapped. And today, the place is surrounded by a busy city. So it wants us to tell about this timeline in our own words. But there are a lot of words in this. So what I'm going to suggest we do is a first, next, then, and last. Okay? So what happened first in the Brea timeline? Okay? So we go back to our first section and it says the area was covered by water. So let's put capital F first. The area was covered by water, period. Next, oh, where's my N? Next, comma, the water goes down and land appears. Water, first the area was covered by water, because was is past tense, right? It's something that happened before. Next, the water, we have to say went down, okay? Water went down, went down, and the land, the land appeared. All right, we did first, next, then we're going to do then. Now we're going to do then. Then the first plants and animals were trapped. And last, it is, oh, let's see. How about instead of last, we say now? Because it says on the end that this happens today. So let's put now. So we have first, next, then, and then we'll have now. Now, the Brea tar pits are surrounded by a busy city. Okay? That's a lot of writing. So I would suggest that you pause the video right now. Go ahead and copy. Please make sure that you're using your sequence words. Do you remember what sequence words are? Sequence is the order something happens in. So we have first, we have next, we have then, and we have now. Miss C is going to highlight those actually. So first, then we have next. Oh, it's not going to let me just do one at a time, I don't think. Nope, not gonna let me do one at a time. Okay, so first, next, then, and now. Okay, maybe I can underline them. Let's see. First, underline. Next. Nope, not gonna let me do that either. Okay, well, at least it's typed. You can copy it. If you want to underline your sequence words, first, next, then, now, that would be great to remind you what they are. Make sure you're putting punctuation at the end of your sentences, okay? I'm guessing that this is our last page. Let's look and see. Yes, it is. Looks like our next story is Cinderella. Bye, guys.